What's going on, everybody? It's Noah, and in today's episode of the Rise Method, I want to provide you with the most practical guide to understanding and interpreting your dreams in such a way that it is making effective shifts in your conscious life. Now, dreams are happening every night, even on nights where we don't feel like we're dreaming. We are more often than not we are having these dreams. Dreaming is something that is actually always taking place. Okay, it's taking place every night, but it's also happening when we are awake, because it's the same thing with something like hypnosis, where you're always dreaming, you're always in hypnosis because your subconscious mind is always working, right? Your heart's always beating, you're always breathing. Okay, these processes are always taking place, and they're always interpreting, taking in information. Okay, and moreover, that subconscious mind, your personal subconscious mind, is connected to everyone and everything around you. Okay, and I like to take the Jungian approach, the approach that Carl Jung developed when it came to dreams. And Carl Jung had this idea of the collective unconscious. So, you have your personal unconscious, your subconscious mind, and that's connected to the collective unconscious, this storehouse of archetypes and patterns. And it's the reason why, we see these stories, like in the hero's journey that Joseph Campbell talked about. We see these certain archetypes, these figures that appear in various stories across the world and across time, because they're stored in the collective unconscious and we all resonate with them. Because they're all derived and we all belong to that same infinite intelligence, that creator that created everyone and everything, that created you, that lives in you. So, that said, when you have dreams, okay, you can have dreams where certain figures are coming in to the picture, okay, where there's certain stories playing out in your dreams. And yes, they can seem to be random and chaotic, some of them more than others. But what Jung believed, and what I have come to believe, is that your dreams always are trying to relay some type of messaging to you in the best way they know how. Now, there is an element that it is processing memories. There's a cognitive element of dreams too. And so that's why some dreams can seem more arbitrary than others. Or maybe, you saw a certain car earlier in the day, and then in your dream, boom, that car is there. You thought of a certain person or a movie, and then boom, that's in your dream the following night. There is that element too. However, at a deeper level, going back to this notion of the subconscious mind, your dreams are also relaying messages to you, messages from your subconscious that are guiding you and actually helping you in what Jung termed the individuation process. So the journey of actualizing your dharma, actualizing who you are as a unique individual. Because as we've discussed in previous videos, the degree to which you can actualize that and express who you are as a unique individual is the degree to which you serve God. You provide value to the collective, because that embodiment is imparting that wisdom and that desire for others to do the same, to live as their individuated self. And imagine a world where we have come to this harmony with our subconscious mind, right? Imagine the changes and the transformation that we'd see at a collective level. So the best way you can engage or differentiate, more of the arbitrary element of a dream versus the profound element of a dream, is your feeling in the dream, your emotion in the emotional intensity of these dreams, okay? It is to notice dreams where there are evoked strong emotions, right? Evoke intense sadness, intense anger, intense joy, okay? Getting really in tune with those dreams, and right when you're waking up, okay, noting them out, writing them on your phone, jotting them on a journal next to your bed, and making sure to keep yourself right in this hypnagogic state, this half waking, half dreaming state, because it helps you kind of not only to relay the patterning, the message of the dream, but to situate you, to keep you in this state where certain intuition comes through as to what it means, and you can write that down. because, and you may have had this experience before. I've had that many a times where, you're laying in that half dreaming state and you're mulling over the certain dream that you had, and then a certain intuition comes up as to what that was, and maybe you forget about it later in the day as you go about your everyday tasks, and now you're operating in this high pattern, high brainwave state, and you forget about it. But being in that low level state, that alpha brainwave state, and writing them out, jotting them down, or simply meditating on them when you're laying in bed, right when you wake up, allows you to have a better understanding and a more intuitive understanding. It kind of gets the critical mind out of the way. It gets that rational mind where, if you're sitting there intellectualizing your dreams and sitting there just thinking and thinking, you can tend to overthink that. Whereas this, being in that relaxed state, helps to just more naturally bring about, the messaging of it. So it's the feeling, and it is also just the significance of the story itself, okay? So, or the journey of the dream. And what I mean by that is, you can have a dream where, though you may not remember the emotions, right? You may not have remembered the emotions, but you can remember the pattern of the dream. You can remember the story of the dream, and it can be a certain story, let's say, that you've resonated with. I know, based on my personal experiences, I've had many dreams where there's been a pattern or a story related to the Harry Potter series, because I love Harry Potter. I've loved Harry Potter since I was a child. Batman, I had stories related to Batman as well. And also certain just experiences, journeys where there is like this form of a death and a rebirth. There's this archetypal or ancient imagery, like, for example, one dream of mine where I'm climbing a mountain and then I die on the mountain, or there's a part of me that dies on the mountain, which is, an ancient, actually, rite of a sky burial in many indigenous groups that I hadn't realized until, a few weeks ago when someone brought that up to me and I made that connection. So just noticing the story of the dream as well, and if that intrigues you, and it's like when you notice the story of the dream and the pattern of the dream, and it has that intrigue, or like it's analogous to maybe a story that you love, there's something there that your unconscious is trying to speak about yourself. Going back to a personal example for me, I just recently had a dream where there was realizing that it was talking about, and I haven't thought about this consciously in I don't know how long, months, maybe, 5-6 months maybe, of Harry Potter, where I was just being brought through the story of how, and spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen Harry Potter here, Harry, has a piece of Voldemort inside of him, right? It's a Horcrux. And I had this dream that it brought that to me, that inside there was a Horcrux, there was a part of Voldemort inside of me, and that part needs, has to be brought to light, has to die off. And so that's just like a pivotal, integral component of shadow work, so there's a part of myself that needs to shut off, needs to die, a part of myself that needs to be addressed. And, intuitively, when you start to look at that pattern, you begin to get intimations, and your subconscious mind actually starts to come online more and to intensify and enliven your dreams, because you're starting to pay attention to it. And when you start to feed it, right, like neurons that fire together, wire together, as you repeat this process, your subconscious mind's like, oh, they're listening now. And so they start to enliven, your dreams start to enliven, those characters start to awaken. And this is, why someone like Carl Jung, and just his dharma, his role as this modern shaman, had these just intense encounters with his unconscious, like through the Red Book and just the work that he did. And it can happen for you, maybe not to the same degree, but where if you're paying attention to it, when you're conscious of it, when you're aware of those images, and you simply observe them, you can go into a practice of lucid dreaming, and we can have future videos discussing that. But just simply allowing yourself to observe and become an observer of the dreams, it opens you up to noticing maybe how your unconscious mind is directing you to actualize, again, your soul's purpose, what you might need to resolve, parts of yourself that might need to be integrated, and parts of yourself that might need to be expressed, right? certain elements that bring you joy and bring you true happiness and peace in life. And your subconscious, through your dream life, can help to realize that. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave any comments or questions below. Share any significant dreams that you've had and how they've helped you, right, and brought some insight in your life into how you step more fully into your ideal state, how it has helped you to shift your health, your business, your relationships, any element of your life. Leave any comments or questions about that below, and I'd love to get back to you on that, and leave any ideas for future videos as well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to have you on this journey. I love you so much. And until next time, let's rise.